is Karolyn Klaire, and you are watching Gaza Tape. For me, when it comes to faith, it's not just about, religious faith. It's faith in everything that I do, even though in the back of my head I might have doubt that this might work out or not. I have true faith that everything that I do touch, everything that I do work on will eventually, work out. And I think that's the spirit that my dad has really, or that rather I grew up with because of my dad. And recently, most recently, I had a near-death experience, and obviously working in the entertainment industry, my life is hectic, and I so happened to just randomly get sick, and I had a situation where I was rushed to the hospital, and this just came unknowingly, and I think that sometimes we get so caught up in our lives that we forget that there's certain things that are important, like for instance, God, and I feel that to some extent, my faith with God, I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a great relationship with God, but however, I didn't give him the time that I needed to, and God has gifted me with so many gifts, and I believe that I'm here for a very good reason. To build talent, to support people who need my support, and in whatever that looks like. So I believe that due to my near-death experience, that God just showed me that there is a bigger picture, even bigger than I'm actually thinking, because sometimes we get so caught up, like I said, we get so caught up with life, we get so caught up with our careers that we forget, in the nitty-gritties, that we forget the bigger picture. And there's so many things that I've wanted to do in the past, and I've been putting them off, and not because I don't want to do them. It's only because life gets hectic. Maybe I tend to doubt certain things. You meet certain people that are amazing and great at their talents, and that just can also diminish the way you think about yourself. And this brings me back to the whole, being able to be confident and being able to look back and see, is this the path that I'm really going to take? Is this the path for me? So just that experience has brought back that perspective. And also, I believe that I've lived in the shadow of many as well. And I wouldn't say shadow, but supporting a lot of people. However, I never really looked at the bigger picture of supporting myself in the sense of working on the talents that I want to bring out as well. Because ever since I was young, I used to love to sing. I used to love to, to dance in front of my parents. And my dad would call me like, sing that song for me. So I used to love, well, I still do. I used to love Mariah Carey. I used to sing her songs all the time. Mm-hmm. So that was just eerie reminiscent of bringing all those memories back and those dreams that I wanted to pursue, that I haven't yet pursued. And I felt like it was just a wake-up call, like, hello, Klaire, you forgetting? Mm-hmm. You had some dreams to take care of. Yeah. But and I just believe that has changed my perspective on life in itself, and truly not forgetting that the main reason we're here is for God's purpose. And we all have a purpose here on earth. And I believe that now I'm only just getting started. I am badass at visuals, production, but I'm always behind the scenes, And like I said, I've always had a passion for music, and I did a bachelor's in communications and marketing. However, I also did a minor in multimedia and technology and audio engineering. So my parents were like, you know what, you've always wanted to do something in music, you love to sing, you love to express yourself, what's going on? And we took you to school for it, so what is going on? So I have recently been working on my music. So I've never really put that into work per se, and when I say into work, I mean into work for myself. So I had some kind of enlightenment of some sort that, hey, you know what, Klaire, I think you need to get into this. But yeah, I am getting into music, and I soon will be releasing my music. So yeah. I love the new trendy music that is out there now. You know, I'm a piano, Afrobeat. I am, you know, you catch me in the club or in somewhere where we're listening to music, and I am all for it. However, growing up, I've always listened to a lot of the music my parents been listening to, or rather, were listening to. The likes of Elvis Presley, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, you know, all those good old schoolies. And growing up, I used to love R&B. Still do. I am an R&B baby. So I would say a lot of the music right now has been influenced by the music that I've been listening to as I've been growing up. But because of my experience with working in the industry and experimenting with a lot, there's been a newfound love for, you know, house music and Afro tech, and being able to experiment with like alternative R&B as well. So I'm not gonna say too much, but somewhere in between there, you know. I would say, I wouldn't want to categorize it in a genre per se, because I feel that there's been a lot of influences throughout the year that has built my vision right now and how I want to express it. And, you know, I don't only sing, I wouldn't say I'm an amazing singer. I sing for passion. I write a lot of poetry. I write a lot. I read a lot, but I also write a lot. And I write about my experiences, and this has always been something that I've always done, because it's a form of release for me, being able to write about my experiences. I wouldn't say, I don't really have a diary per se, but I tend to write to myself and come back to it and just read that. In that light, I begin to understand myself better and understand like where I've come from and where I'm going. So a lot of my music, I can say, has to do with my experience, and as well as my faith. Yeah, I think that now that I'm taking on this journey of really expressing myself, I think that, yeah, you guys are going to be seeing more of the vlogs, and maybe more in the form of, you know, your everyday life, you know, with Klaire. Not that I'm saying I'm releasing anything with everyday life with Klaire, but I'm just saying that being able to express myself on social media or on these digital platforms in the most rawest form, and being able to see how people resonate with that as well. And I'm hoping that I will get some good feedback. Yeah, so I'm coming back, but in a different light. You know, when everybody sees Lagos on the television, they have this perspective about it, you know, popping bottles, you know, living the lavish lifestyle. But boy, oh boy, was I, well, it's there, but to my surprise, I found out that Lagos was the hustle city. And I'm telling you, people out there are true hustlers, like the definition of hustlers. The minute you step into the city from the airport, people are hustling and bustling you up. So it was an interesting experience. And because I grew up, well, I didn't grow up, but I grew the love. I have a newfound love for Afrobeat lately. I've always loved African music, but Afrobeat is just in my veins, you know? And going to Lagos, I saw a different side of what I normally see in music videos and, you know, what people portray on television. And I really loved my experience when I went to the actual city, like the actual city, the raw city with all the yellow buses and the hustle and bustle. And I was with a couple of people and they're like, Klaire, and I had my camera, you know, I was snapping because I was with Josie. And, you know, we were taking some content. People were like, careful with the camera. Let me hold it for you. You know, if they see you doing this, they'll charge you. They'll ask you for money. I'm like, it's a real hustle city, you know? So one of my favorite experiences were rather experiencing all of that. And, you know, for me, working in the entertainment industry, it's not people see the glitz and the glamour, you know, but it's not glamorous at all. I'm not going to lie, it's not glamorous at all. People see the outcome or the end product, but when you're getting into the nitty-gritty down there, it's not as, you know, as glamorous. And I saw that in Lagos, you know, and I loved it because I felt that people were being their original selves, you know. And the food experience was also very interesting. There's a huge difference between the city life and then the life that you see on television. So it's like popping bottles, you know, splurging money and whatnot. And I got to see that in the clubs. You know, people actually pop bottles and, you know, rain money. So that's a huge thing. And what we hear about Lagos is spot on. I love pepe soup. However, my favorite is egusi. But for Tanzania, I've always loved chips mayai. I mean, I'm a chips mayai girl, you know, like stop over the road after, you know, a hot day, I'm all dusted up and whatnot. Just grab a chips mayai. But honestly, for me, I love ugali. When I'm home, I'll ask Dada to cook me up that ugali with some nice chicha on the side, some spinach. Goodness, oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting that. I'm feeling a bit emotional. Don't give up. Girl, you are only getting things started. Always hold your head up high. Don't let anyone else tell you who you can be, because girl, you can be anyone. And be humble, because being humble is going to take you places. Yeah, and don't forget God in your journey. He will take you where you want to go. Have faith. So, Gaza T surprised me with a picture of myself, an old me, a young me, a me who didn't know much about the world, someone who was very innocent, and this is only the beginning. I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. I wanna dance with somebody who loves you. But that's actually my favorite song because, what do you call it? We grew up listening to that song because my mom would always put the music on and, you know, dance to it, you know. I wanna dance with somebody. Hey, I wanna dance with somebody who loves me. You know, so that's always something that she's always loved to put on and dance to whenever she's happy. So yeah, I guess that's the song I'm going to sing for you today. I am so thrilled because I was able to share a snippet of my story, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Gaza T, for having me.